Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and preview all the action in the week to come.
In this week's podcast, the January transfer window is shut with some big record-breaking deadline day deals completed, with Enzo Fernandez becoming the most expensive player in Premier League history. And the FA Cup also served up some great games as teams look to make their way to the Wembley showpiece.
Plenty to talk about this week, so let's talk football. Hello everybody.
Hi everyone.
It is time for the podcast, and a podcast that comes just after the closure of the transfer window.
Yeah.
The January transfer window, has
is
closed.
Officially shut.
It's been record-setting by all accounts.
Yes, very much so. In Chelsea's perspective, yes.
Chelsea, I don't know. I literally, FFP's done, isn't it? It's done. It's dead.
It doesn't exist.
It's dead. It's dead. I've never seen a team spend so much money. You think about what they've spent over the last from the summer window to this window.
Yeah, it's obscene amount of money.
Ridiculous. They're not making that much money.
No, can't be. Surely to Christ.
But they found this little loophole. I don't really understand the loophole that they've found. I think it's all to do with the way that they're spreading the cost across the...
Yeah, because they wanted to spread the Fernandez deal over 5. They wanted 3 years.
They needed to change then the initial... Yeah, I mean, the details haven't come out yet, have they? But they found a way. They made it happen. 106.8, I think, was the total figure in the end.
That's right.
Enzo Fernandez. So you had he had a great World Cup. Let's not.
Yeah, no.
Let's not discredit the player. Very talented.
Yeah.
And sort of excited to see him in the Premier League. Yeah. Just not in a Chelsea shirt.
Not worth 106 million.
But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
And they spend more than the Bundesliga, France, and Italy combined. Chelsea.
I mean, that's not surprising. They just went at it, didn't they? They just. And they spent. They brought 2 massive transfers in. They spent 200 million on 2 players essentially, haven't they?
Yeah.
Emergit and Fernandez, which will give them a big boost. And I think from their perspective, they're thinking, well, if we want to get Chelsea back up, they've got these 2 long-term assets essentially now in the club.
Yeah,
on
definitely. Obviously, they're on
8.5-year deals.
8-year contracts. Yeah.
8.5-year deals. So that's. 8. Well, basically the rest of this season, then 8 seasons on.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, right, okay, if this is going to be one of those kind of we're turning over Chelsea very quickly, we bought it cheap, let's sell it.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They're trying to go look at all these assets, look at all the investment we've thrown into the club.
Yeah, you can't say they're not backing the manager.
Well, I think there's more to it than just backing the manager. I think it's more of a
look at
they
us.
are. Yeah, look, we're all powerful. I can come in and do this.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I can show me the money.
Spent a week on Football Manager.
Show me the money.
It's ridiculous. The money they spent. I mean, I don't know how they're not breaking the rules, but okay.
Yeah.
So, over to you, UEFA, I guess.
They won't do anything, will they, crikey?
Of course they won't. But it makes a joke of the whole thing. I mean, Barca have been doing it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. PSG have done it. I mean, City got away with whatever
fine they got. Yeah. They didn't even get the ban from Europe in the end.
No. So it's all.
Yeah. It needs to be tighter restrictions on it because it's getting out of control again.
Well, it is. Yeah. Well, it is. Well, one football club in particular is getting out of control, isn't it?
Everybody else is trying to work within their means, and that's what you need to do. You need to work within your means.
But I think the argument,
be the basis for it.
But the argument is, and this argument actually I do understand, is they've got the money to throw at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're invested. They're putting their money in. They put that. I know Gary Neville always talks about putting this guarantee in with a deal.
Yeah.
So that if the club can't do it, the owner will guarantee it from another source.
Yeah.
And so that kind of thing, everyone wants investment in their own clubs, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Chelsea fans are delighted. They've got 2 very young, talented footballers in their team.
Yeah.
Particularly, I mean, obviously, and more.
And more, yeah.
Because there was a lot of other deals, a lot of other young talent that they've kind of gone out and kind of brought in big money. They got rid of Jorginho.
Yeah, good move from Arsenal for Jorginho.
I think that's really good deal for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I was laughing at I've been watching Arsenal fans absolutely slag Jorginho off for months. Absolutely hammering him for months. And now all of a sudden he's the best player in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is a very good move for Arsenal.
It's a very good move from Arsenal.
He's a very good signing. He was never rubbish in the first place, Jorginho.
No.
But some of the stuff you've seen over the months from Arsenal fans, from a lot of the London clubs actually, having a go at Jorginho this year.
Yeah.
And now all the Arsenal fans are, oh no, Jorginho's brilliant. He's brilliant.
And yet they have a very bitter rivalry, Arsenal and Chelsea. Yet they seem to swap players like nothing.
They do it often. I think it's more of a fan thing. I think the boards would do business because they, what I mean, Kroenke and Abramovich and now Todd Bowley, they don't care about a rivalry. No. They're not interested in that. They're interested in what they can get back.
Good amount of money for Jorginho as well.
I think it's a decent deal for Arsenal. They get a really good player. I mean, Partey's potentially got an injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
El Nenny's out for the rest of the season, I think, as well.
Yeah. So it's good to have him in there. I think Arsenal have gone about their business well in January with Trossard, and it is really good. They've done really well actually. You can't really dismiss that one. So they've had a good window, Arsenal. And then also on deadline day, I want to talk about the top. I want to talk about Tottenham. I want to talk about. Let's loan out all of our players. Oh no, we've loaned out too many of them.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the state we're in at the minute that we can't count.
And the fact that actually they were in the position where they just went, oh, do you know what? Should we just terminate the contract? You sign him on a free, and they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I
mean, I don't really understand
why
the attraction. Yeah, I don't really understand Atletico's interest. They obviously have one.
I mean, well, they tend to do quite a lot of business with us for wingbacks.
I mean, yeah, we're going back to Trippier and
Sergio Reguilon's already there.
Reguilon, yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird one, but I mean, Tottenham like a fullback.
Finally.
Yeah, Pedro Porro over the line. 30
days in discussions, apparently.
Yeah, well, these things take time. I mean, you got the guy in the end. Let's not.
Yeah.
You've probably got a deal that works for everybody.
Yeah. Admittedly, we've probably got rid of the wrong wing back, but yeah.
Yeah. A lot's been going on.
We got rid of Doherty. But the biggest thing we're going to have in the summer.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've loaned all these players out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Roden, Spence, and Ndombele, Lo Celso, Winks. It goes on and on and on. I think one of them has an option to buy. The rest of them will be
just
back
out there
in the summer. And that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, and I guess at that point then it's around who, what can we get on permanence?
Yeah.
What can we get rid of? I mean, it's a chance to reevaluate, and if some of them go back out on loan, they'll go back out on loan. But you'll probably move 2 or 3 of them on, I would think, at least.
I would hope so, because obviously if they're not part of the manager's plans, don't let them do it.
Yeah.
Danjuma's a good signing, though. I'm quite happy about Danjuma.
Yeah, Danjuma's going to be a good player in the Premier League, hopefully, very talented. He's done really well at Villarreal.
Yeah. And you did a bit of business on deadline day as well.
Yeah, we did, bringing in Sabitzer, following
good signing,
the news.
Sabitzer.
Yeah, around the news we were losing Eriksen for 3 months or so.
Yeah. But you acted quickly. I think that's the thing that frustrates me as a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
You went, right, he's out for 4 months. Who can we get? Oh, we'll have him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Liverpool fans are probably having a similar sort of feeling.
Yeah.
They've been screaming out for new midfielders who can press and who can do that. Sabitzer's one of the best in the biz in that pressing role.
Yeah.
In the midfield. And they'll be sitting there going, well, hang on a minute, if there was a deal to be done there.
Why didn't we do it?
But, I think we've been keeping an eye on it. I think he was muted as one of the names in the summer for us.
Apparently you were linked with quite a few yesterday, but he was the one.
Well, apparently everyone got pushed on. Apparently a lot of the agents were throwing names at us when they found out that Eriksen's injury was there. But
and it's only
we'd already made the mind up.
No option to buy him, is there?
No option, straight loan, which I think is decent because it might not be that Sabitzer was, a long-term
target
plan for us. We've got other people potentially that we're looking at, but then if he comes in as a great second half of the season, then we can negotiate that deal or buy and get a player back that has higher value that they can move on elsewhere.
Yeah, it's a win-win for both clubs, really.
Yeah, I did laugh when Sol Niguez got linked with us. I was like, he didn't have the best of times at Chelsea. I'm glad we said no to that one.
Yes. Yannick Carrasco, I wouldn't have turned down, though.
Carrasco, I think Aouar was linked with us as well. You know, he had a really good World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, there were some good names, I think, that were put in there, but I think Ten Hag has a profile of player.
Yes.
You know, and Sabitzer came from that Leipzig team that he's from, that, you know,
pressing and
yeah, that pressing nature, that pressing team. Got a belter on him, but, you know, I'm sure he'll hit Rose Ed more often than he hits the back of the net by the looks of it. But I think, you know, I haven't seen a lot of him. I mean, everyone's saying, oh, he's not getting in the Bayern Munich team. I think Paul Merson was on going. Well, Paul Merson, by the way, is going, oh, Sabitzer can't get in the Bayern Munich team. Terrible signing. Jorginho, who hasn't really played a lot for Chelsea this season. Great signing, great addition.
Yeah, loved him.
But anyway.
Don't let Paul Merson upset you.
Yeah, but a lot of this, he can't get in the team. But, you know, you've got to remember that Goretzka, Kimmich, and Gravenbach are three of the best midfielders in Europe.
Yeah.
And he's their understudy.
And you've got we know we're not free as well if he wants to play further forward. Yeah.
Exactly. We're not playing. You know, we're not playing. We're not paying. Sorry, for that level of player. We haven't got that level of player.
No.
Right. So he's not. He's not Casemiro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's like on the ball. That's one thing I'm a bit unsure of. So I don't know how he is in terms of Eriksen, in terms of creativity.
I think he'll offer you the similar sort of thing. Yeah.
But he's a step up ahead of
McTominay
and Fred.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were a Casemiro injury away
from disaster.
From going back to McFred. And I think, you know, we made the move, we got the player in, you know, and that's not to discount the work that McTominay and Fred do. They're very good, but they don't give us the dynamism and the creativity going forward that Eriksen can give us. And defensively, they're not as strong. They can't read the game as well as Casemiro does. They're very hard-working players who can offer something to the squad.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on them week in, week out to give you everything that you need from your midfield. No. Especially, and I think that's how Ten Hag sees it, at least.
And it was quite funny. I did see Tottenham Twitter, obviously, is very funny around transfer deadline and everything like that.
Mm.
You replaced Christian Eriksen before we did.
It's very true. No, it's very true. It's very true. When did he go? 2020, when he went to Inter Milan.
And we still
and you've not seen a player like him since.
Nope.
Really,
we still can't take a corner.
No, I mean, to be fair, our corners aren't great. That's not.
No. That's one thing Christian Eriksen cannot give you. Can't beat the first man at a corner.
Yeah.
One deal that did surprise me, and it surprised me more for the fact of how much money they've got on it if it comes off and they want to buy him at the end. Cancelo. You got to buy Munich.
Cancelo to Bayern. Yeah, that's a. I was very surprised by that.
Buy clause. 62 million.
Well, I bought him for 60, didn't they? So
I genuinely don't know what happened there. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it is, but at the same time, he is. I'm very surprised that City sold him.
Well, apparently he was.
There are obviously exactly. Apparently, there's stuff going on. There's reports of a bust up with Pep at the training ground because of the lack of his playing time, and I think Pep's just going, all right, then off you go.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to have as a manager. Just
and it's a brilliant move for Bayern, I think.
Yeah,
you know, they get one of the best fullbacks in the world. Let's not pretend otherwise. He is.
It just seems a lot of money to buy him at the end of it.
Yeah, but I think that's going to I think that weakens City. I think, you know, they've been said, Ake's come in and played at left back a bit
Lewis
now.
Has done well as well, to be fair.
Rico Lewis has done all right, but they're not Cancelo level. You know, in the big games.
Yeah.
Can you rely on Nathan Ake
on the right and the left as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you rely on those two in the big games?
We are.
You know, when you get,
to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. When you're getting into the latter stage of the Champions League, that's going to be an area where people are going to be like, we can get at them there.
Yeah. Yeah, because Walks is not as fast as he was.
He's not so much. But
yeah.
No, he I mean, the right side I'd be less worried about because of Walker and that.
Yeah.
But I think that left that left-hand side now of City's defence, or your right-hand side if you're attacking them.
Yeah.
I think that's might become a bit more. You might see teams try and focus on that now.
Yeah.
To get in those areas, create problems, because they've not got them. I guess Phil Foden will trap back and do a bit of work, but they're going to need a lot of support out there. Gundogan's going to be and Rodri are going to be covering a lot of ground to their left side of the midfield, left side of defence. I feel.
Let's hope they've not worked it out by the weekend, eh?
Well, you'll see. You'll see. You've got to beat these mid-table teams as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. The other interesting one for me yesterday was Navas.
Yeah.
Going to Forest.
Yeah.
Obviously not as young as he once was.
No, but that's
Dean Henderson,
a coup for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Dean Henderson obviously got injured. Don't know how long he's going to be out for.
Yeah.
I
think it's 3-4 weeks. I don't think it's that long, but they were worried that obviously Wayne Hennessy was the only fit senior goalkeeper at the club. I think that was the biggest.
It's going to be so good to see Dean Henderson get benched by Keylor Navas and then whine about it. I can't wait for that.
Can he play tonight in the cup game? I don't think he can he?
No, I think it's he won't have been. I'm not sure how the registration all works, but I think either by the time the draw's done, I think they have to be announced, or within like a certain time period before the start of the round.
I mean, you're
I don't think
anyway.
Let's
well,
hopefully.
Be honest.
Hopefully, I mean, we don't count our chickens and all that. There's still a job to do.
Yeah.
If you go in complacent, things can happen in a football match. So we've got to be. You've got to be at it.
Concentrated.
Yeah, you've got to be concentrated and work and do it. I think Ten Hag said he doesn't really want to change the team too much because he the momentum that we've built, and so he wants to kind of keep a momentum in the team.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to change too much.
No, doesn't sound like it, does it?
So I think what will really happen tonight depends on what attitude United turn up with. Obviously, Newcastle are through to the final, their first final since 1999 at Wembley, who, of course, when they got beaten by Manchester United in the FA Cup final on the way to their treble.
Yeah, that's right.
Paul Scholes and Teddy Sheringham for the win.
Right. Who was the other team that won something in 1999? I can't remember.
I don't know, but it's probably the last time.
No, it wasn't. Anthony Gordon to Newcastle's an interesting one as well.
Yeah, I think he's a very talented footballer. Obviously, he nearly went to Chelsea, didn't he, in the summer?
Yeah.
But Everton were able to hold off. I just think, Everton, I mean, they've pocketed this money.
Yeah.
This 40-odd mil, and just gone, thank you very much. And then, Sean Dyche is going to have to work a miracle.
He is. He definitely is. Yeah.
He's going to have to be at his absolute best to kind of get them organised, get them sorted.
And get them out of trouble. Yeah.
To not even give them a bit of that money, do you know what I mean?
No,
to use.
Apparently they were just knocked back left, right, and centre yesterday. Apparently,
yeah.
They were after Giroud. I think was one that I saw. Yeah. I mean, they may still go out. Andre Ayew was one that they were talking about yesterday, but he's a free agent, so he can sign after the deadline. So
yeah, well, we'll see how that all kind of happens.
Is he a player that's going to keep Everton in the Premier League?
I mean, you never know. He's probably an improvement on what they have got up front, especially having lost someone like Gordon.
Yeah.
Is he going to score all they got? No, but is he an improvement? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just think Sean Dyche is going to make them really, really hard to play against. That needs to be his thing now, doesn't it? He's just going to set them up in such a way so that they are organised and that nothing gets through.
And if they pick up a few wins along the way,
yeah, that's got to be their way. Obviously, they will need wins, but I think in this first instance, you've got to build that confidence, get that stability.
Yeah, as you say, make them hard to beat, get a few points on the board, and then
absolutely
pick up wins when you can. Yeah.
I know, very, very interesting. What else happened? Well, Liverpool. What did Liverpool business that they did do in the Gakpo? Of course, they'll be happy that they brought in Cody Gakpo, which is decent, but he's still trying to find his feet.
Yeah,
I think
I haven't really seen the best of him so far, have we? I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's just finding his feet in the league and in the country. Obviously, he's got to settle in.
Yeah,
and I think we'll see the best of both him and Nunez probably come more to the front next season. I think
definitely. Yeah.
Once they've bedded in a bit more, had that time, have a full summer under their belts, because I don't think is there international South America. No, I don't think there is any.
No, there's no tournaments that I'm aware of this summer. So we've actually got a free summer for once.
They should have a good rest, come back rejuvenated. Hopefully, Liverpool will want to probably make some more signings in the summer if they can.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about that midfield needs a bit of a revamp.
It does. Yeah. And I'm really surprised they never made a move for someone in there.
Yeah.
That was more the priority, I think, for them, because they're just not in control of games anymore like they used to be.
No.
They've completely lost control. You saw that in the Brighton game.
Maybe the right man just didn't come forward. Maybe,
but I mean, there's got to be players that they could have got. I mean, like we said, Sabitzer was there.
Yeah.
The whole window.
Maybe he didn't want to go to Liverpool.
No, he doesn't. He wants to go to Manchester United because he knows ball.
Oh, God.
Sabitzer knows ball. We know this. He's got great ball knowledge. But you think of all the players that got thrown at Manchester United towards the end of the window as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Like a Carrasco.
Yeah.
Would have been really good in that midfield for Liverpool. Who else? Awar from the Moroccan. I think he'd have done a really good working man's job in there for him.
Or maybe Jurgen Klopp was just content with what they had.
Well, good luck, I guess, for the rest of the season.
Good luck.
Good luck. Because it's not working. Well, it's not working, is it? And it's continually not working at this point. So something's got to change for Liverpool.
Yeah.
In the way that, if these players can no longer do what he wants them to do, so he needs to change something so that, whether that's dropping the defence back 5 or 10 yards and try and get Thiago on the ball in more of a playmaker role.
Yeah.
And use the pace of your front three to penetrate that way, rather than getting your press, winning the ball back early and doing it that, because you haven't got the midfield to do that anymore.
No.
So, the Liverpool now just need to drop back a little bit, use someone like Thiago, who is very talented on the ball, can make a pass, can see a pass.
Yeah. Just get two mobile players around him, like Elliot. Elliot's sort of mobile a little bit.
Yeah. And, and just do it that way and use the pace of your front three and the guile of a Salah to create opportunities further up the pitch then.
In fairness, they tried to do it against Brighton in the Cup, didn't they? They looked more dangerous against Brighton.
Absolutely, yeah, because when they were drawing them on, rather than pushing on them, they were drawing them on.
Yeah.
I mean, their confidence is low, which doesn't help.
And they were just going over the top in behind and trying to create chances that
way.
And
they had opportunities that way. And I think that might be a better way for them to go. But there we are. That's my take. Anything else in the transfer window we need to discuss? City didn't really do any business, did they, other than letting Cancelo go?
No. Leicester got a good midfield player in Tete.
Yes, no, they did actually. I think Tete is going to be really useful for them.
Yeah. They actually spent some money, Leicester.
Yeah. Well, today actually,
Harry Suter as well from
the owners have written off the £200 million pound debt to that King Power had put the loan that they'd put into the club, so they've cleared that, which will be really helpful, I think, and show some commitment from the owner as well. Again,
yes, it does. Yeah, it shows that despite losing his dad, and by the sounds of it, he's never been the one at the heart of the sort of the football decisions. But it shows the commitment from the family, at least, that they want to get behind Leicester, and
they're in it. And it will really help them, I think, going into the summer. I mean, they do need to survive.
They do. They've got an ageing squad that they need to kind of revamp.
I'll give it a refresh.
Yeah, it needs quite a bit of a revamp as well, I think.
They're probably going to lose Tielemans in the summer.
Yeah, he'll go on a free in the summer. Yeah. Madison maybe as well. If the right offer comes in for Madison.
Potentially for Madison, I think it depends how he comes back from his injury, doesn't it? Because at the minute he's been injured, hasn't he, since the World Cup? No one's talking about him, so he's probably not on everybody's radar at the minute. Yeah. So they'll see how he comes back from this injury, and if it's anything.
But the good thing for Leicester, I suppose, if they sell someone like James Maddison, they're going to get 60, 65, 70 million for him, something around that ballpark. They can buy 2 or 3 players with that.
Absolutely, and reinvest and do it that way. But actually, just not having to service this debt anymore will be massive to him. Yeah. And that will help with investing in players. I think that's it pretty much from the transfer window, all the big stuff from the Premier League perspective anyway. Let's move on, shall we? FA Cup wise, really, I mean, the most exciting game I saw was the Wrexham game.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Really good. They were so unlucky.
Yeah.
They were so unlucky.
They were very unlucky. Yeah.
Lose it to draw it like that at the end.
I think they can go to Bramall Lane and they may do something there.
I think potentially they've missed their opportunity.
Probably.
I always think this when these teams get them at home,
they get one opportunity at it.
That's your opportunity. I think once you get into a replay away from home,
yeah,
it gets tricky. If you get in a replay and you're coming home, because again, it gives you that chance, especially normally they're midweek under the lights.
Yeah,
the place will get packed out, especially for a game like that. You can create something, but I think them having to go to Bramall Lane, I think, means that they've probably missed their opportunity.
Probably. I mean, we play the winners, so yeah.
Yeah. Get Ryan Reynolds down. Are you there?
No,
or
we're going to either Wrexham or Sheffield United.
Oh, so you're going away, so yeah, you could have a little trip, go see Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Sunderland were unlucky as well.
Yeah, they were unfortunate.
For fairness, Grimsby were as well. There were a few sides that were unlucky not to win.
Yeah, no, it went like that.
Yeah.
It really did. It was one of those weekends for some of these nearly upsets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nearly upsets. But really, I think the big two talking points from the weekend were tackles.
Yeah.
I think particularly, I mean, like Andy Carroll one on Eriksen, I could say, okay, you might give a yellow for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he went off in the end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the Fabinho one on Ferguson.
Oh, God, yeah.
I can't understand under any circumstances how that's not a red card.
I mean, he's high. Yeah.
He's nowhere near. He's going straight through the back of him.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what he's trying to achieve with that tackle.
Yeah. And it's
he's not playing the ball there, is he?
Yeah.
And then he's just scraped him down the back of the leg. That's a red card all day long. It's just a red card. I was like, oh, he's in trouble. When I saw the replay, I thought, oh, he's in trouble here. Yeah. He's gone.
And then VAR
and then didn't go anywhere.
No, it's fine. You're like, what?
Because really, for that tackle, he hasn't really made an attempt to play the ball in my eyes.
No.
With that tackle.
No, as you say, he jumped down the back of his Achilles, which is going to hurt anyway.
Yeah, it was a shocker, that one.
Shocking challenge.
Absolute shocker. So let's just have a quick look. Have you got the ties at all?
Yes,
Andy?
I have got the ties.
Have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at the ties.
So there aren't many that have actually been confirmed yet.
Yeah,
obviously,
the replays, etc.
The ones that have been confirmed, so Bristol City, Manchester City, Leicester, Blackburn, Manchester United, West Ham, Stoke and Brighton. Everybody else is waiting for their opponent to come.
So we'll see. I mean, the Blackburn replay happened last night, didn't it?
Yes, so Blackburn beat Birmingham 1-0. Yeah, last night.
Yeah. Is there any tonight? There's no.
No, it's next week. The rest of them.
No, next week. Okay.
I was a bit confused when they did one yesterday.
Yeah, it's probably just because of the championship fixtures for the.
Probably. Yeah, if they got a free week. Although that's a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And played each other within 3 days.
Yeah. But from my perspective, I said to myself before the draw, if we can avoid Manchester United, Manchester City, and Brighton, we're happy.
Yeah.
So,
the fact that you're happy to avoid Brighton is such a compliment to the way Brighton have moved forward.
Brighton are playing very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, they've got nothing to lose with the FA Cup. They can go for that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, there's your FA Cup news. Next up, then let's have a little look and see what's going on around the world.
Yeah, there's been a little bit going on around the world this week. So I'm going to start in La Liga, where Barcelona extend their lead at the top to 5 points. They beat Granollers, whilst Real Madrid were held by Real Sociedad. In France, PSG continue to stumble. They were held by Reims. The lead at the top, though, is still 3 points after Lens only drew themselves. Bayern Munich are also having a bit of trouble in Germany. They failed to win again, so the top 5 are separated by 3 points now. That's a very, very tight league in Germany. In the Women's FA Cup, there were no real shocks as all the major sides made it through, including Manchester United, who survived a scare by Sunderland. Chelsea beat Liverpool in the biggest tie of the round. Not much luck for Liverpool in the cup competitions this weekend. In Serie A, Monza beat Juventus 2-0 to complete the double over them this season. First time they've ever done that. Sassuolo put 5 past Milan, although Divock Origi did score the goal of the game. Napoli's lead is up to 13 points after yet another win for them. In the A-League, draws were the order of the day with 4 out of the matchday weekend, including Melbourne City snatching a late equaliser against Adelaide United. And finally, we head to Saudi, where Al Nazir failed to make the final of the Saudi Super Cup. They were beaten 3-1 by Al Hilal, managed by former Tottenham manager Nuno Espirito Santo.
Very nice, very good indeed. And also, actually, the women's transfer window also happened yesterday.
It did,
Didn't it,
yes.
as well, that closed. Manchester United turned down a world record fee.
Yeah, £500,000. Yeah,
£500,000 for Alessa Russo, which I'm really happy about. Just give her what she wants.
Yeah.
Just give her a contract with years on it, please.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make sense you selling them to Arsenal anyway.
No, because we're actually top of the league right now.
Yeah, so you're helping
a
rival
win
by doing that, and that's just bonkers.
And no, so someone just because their contract's up at the end of the season.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why all this happened.
Yeah.
Just give her a contract and give her what she wants and shut up. She's literally one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah.
Give her what she wants.
Please.
Yes. Get that deal. That contract needs sorting now. Right? Need to lock down all of it.
Chris has spoken. Listen.
I have spoken. The Glazers, they never listen to their fans, but you know. Get it sorted. I don't know if John Murto, you're in charge of the women's team as well. Don't care. Get it done. But yeah, right. There we go. What's been happening in the Swiss League this week?
Well, obviously we've been talking about the transfer deadline.
Yep.
Donis Avdijaj is no longer part of the Swiss League.
Where's he gone?
He has gone to Hartberg in Austria.
Where is Austria? Okay, so he's gone from
back,
Switzerland to Austria.
We're back with Austria again.
We're back in we like the Austrian league, our Wonder Kids, don't they? They like going to Austria.
Yeah. So they're currently bottom of the table. So he's...
Oh, good.
It's not really changed too much for him in terms of looking up at everybody else. But, yeah, so he's joined Hartberg for the rest of the season. They haven't played a competitive game since before the World Cup. So the 12th of November was the last time they played a competitive game.
And where's their next game?
They play on the 12th of February. That's their first league game back.
That's what, 3 months?
Yeah.
Best part of?
Best part of 3 months.
All right, isn't it? Everyone wants to go. I'd go and play in Austria.
Yeah.
Get 3 months off every year. We take those.
Yeah, so we really don't care what happens to FC Zurich now, frankly.
No, see ya. We're all Hartberg fans now around here.
Come on, the Hartberg.
All right then, Donis. Let's see how you do. Hopefully you can give us some actual things for content for this podcast. That'd be great if you could just get an assist, a goal, something.
Yeah, anything.
A red card.
Just
a red card.
Anything. Yeah.
Something. Our Wonder Kid from what did we Football Manager 15
2016 this one.
2016 this one, right? Okay, Donis. Right, before we go then, let's have a quick look at the fixtures this weekend in the Premier League. Some juicy ones.
There are some very juicy ones coming up this weekend. So we start with a West London derby on Friday night. Chelsea taking on Fulham. Saturday lunchtime, Everton versus Arsenal. Sean Dyche's first game in charge of Everton. Probably couldn't come much tougher than that at the moment. Brighton take on Bournemouth in the 3 o'clock games. Manchester United, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Southampton, Wolves against Liverpool, Aston Villa against Leicester in the 3 o'clock games. Newcastle and West Ham is your 5:30 offering on Saturday night. Then 2 games on Sunday. Nottingham Forest taking on Leeds before Manchester City make the trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Very, very good fixtures this weekend. Looking forward to some of those games. But that's pretty much it from us this week. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, if you do want to get in touch with us, you can through Twitter at Let's Football Pod. You can email us at letsfootballpod@gmail.com. We'll be back next week discussing all the big talking points from this weekend's Premier League games, all the big debuts that I'm sure we're going to see as well in the coming week. So, yeah, look forward. Enjoy the games. But in the meantime, look after yourselves, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.